Good morning. It's Miss Reese. Maybe you guys want to see the classroom a little bit. I really miss you guys. I hope that you're finding lots of fun things to do now that you don't have to be at school. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about World War I. One side was called the Allied Powers. The other side was called the Central Powers. And I'm going to tell you guys a story. It's called Friends, Enemies, Frenemies. And it's a story of some junior high boys who really don't like each other. So Dave, who represents Germany, a strong athletic 14-year-old, was in his second year at Smithfield Junior High. Ever since he moved into the district last year, his physical abilities on the football field and his daring and sometimes rude personality have rubbed many students the wrong way. He has steadily alienated himself from his teammates Brian, who represents Russia, and Bob, who represents France, with his aggressive style both on and off the field. Other students who are not athletes, Bill, who represents Britain, and Ben, who represents Serbia, have also had problems with Dave in the cafeteria and in the halls. Brian and Bob, Bill and Ben, rarely seen together before 8th grade, have started hanging out together, using their growing dislike of Dave as their common bond. It kind of sounds like junior high, huh? Dave's macho character has attracted some followers who are pleased to share in Dave's status as a dude not to mess with. Doug, who represents Hungary, and Dwight, who represents Austria, are the two guys most often seen in the company of Dave. These two, who wouldn't make any class member's popularity list, revel in the attention they get from being part of Dave's group. As football season ends, Brian's and Bob's disdain, which means hatred, of Dave is at an all-time high when Brian discovers Dave has a billy club device in his football locker. A billy club device is something that cops have on their belts. Preparing themselves for future trouble, each, meaning Brian and Bob, begin packing brass knuckles. Meanwhile, Dwight has heard about the brass knuckles being carried by Brian and Bob, and he has informed Dave. Dave starts carrying a switchblade knife strapped to his ankle under his pant leg. One afternoon, on the way home from school, Ben, so Serbia, and Dwight get into a shouting match, during which Dwight lets it slip that Dave is armed with a knife and that Ben had better lay off. Shortly afterward, Ben lets Brian, Bob, and Bill know that Dave is armed with a knife and that Ben better lay off. Shortly afterward, Ben lets Brian, Bob, and Bill know about the knife that Dave is concealing. Bill, Britain, a very loyal and faithful follower, secretly begins toting a hidden handgun. The very next day, the boys were outside during lunch, and Dwight, Austria, is hit in the head with a rock by an unknown assailant. Dwight swears to the principal that it was Ben, Serbia, but no proof is offered to implicate Ben. Dave tells Dwight that afternoon not to worry, everything is going to be made right. Dave tells Dwight to follow him after school. So that's World War I. These guys, Brian, Bob, Bill, Ben, are called the Allied Powers. Germany, Hungary, Austria were called the Central Powers. The story's on Google Classroom if you guys want to look it up, but that is World War I in a nutshell.